the middle of the afternoon, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, so we figured we're going to do a little video, just a quick thing on, the whole big spread of stuff that I'm going to have for, Super Bowl party. I like to do a lot of food for parties, so we're going to do a few dishes, like real quick. We're starting out with some buffalo chicken chowder here. This is a pretty easy soup, basic cream soup. It's got chicken, blue cheese dressing, hot sauce, celery, good stuff. So we're just going to start out by sauteing up our chicken. That goes right in the pan, good hot pan with olive oil.
Olive oil.
Mush it about.
Mushy.
Pan's not quite hot enough, but we're just looking to cook the chicken. Doesn't need a hard sear. Of course, we're going to add big fat pinch of Anne Frank, some cracked black, and we're just going to let this chicken start cooking. Alright, well, we've had this boneless, skinless chicken breast that we cut up, sauteing for, 4 or 5 minutes here, get a good start on it. Now we're going to add in a bunch of chopped celery. All in.
Celery.
Give this all a good mix. Now this is going to saute, the whole deal is going to saute probably 7 or 8 minutes till the chicken's fully cooked and the celery softens a little bit. Alright, what we did when we finished sauteing the chicken and the celery, I moved it over to the crock pot. You can put it in any bowl. Point is just to remove it so you can build the soup in a nice empty pan. I left all the juices, though, from the cooking in there because that's just going to make a lot of flavor. It's going to be delicious. So now cream soup, got to start with a roux, which is, fat and flour. We've gone over that before. I got a little over a stick of butter here, and I'm going to use just a little over a half a cup of flour. Butter's melted. There we go, just a heavy half cup here. Just sprinkle it in, sprinkle it in. And then whisk immediately, so all those flour granules get coated and you don't have lumps.
Like lumpy gravy.
And we're going to let this, just like I've gone over before, let this little roux mixture cook, 3-4 minutes, just to cook out the raw flour taste. Wait till it smells a little bit nutty, and that's when you know you're good to go. Alright, the roux here's been cooking, 3 minutes or so. It's starting to smell good. Smells a little toasty. So we're going to add some flavor here in the form of what, Johnny?
Wop nuggets.
Of course. Big heaping spoon of Wop nuggets in there. And now we start building the soup. I got here's a quart of chicken broth. We all know how much I use the chicken broth. Whisk that in slowly. Really get that roux dissolved into it.
Resolve.
Yeah, no, we're a little bit less entertaining when we're sober, but this should be a pretty informative episode. Alright, now that the chicken stock's in with the roux, we can actually turn the heat up just a little. We don't want it ripping, but you want this all to heat up so it can thicken. And while the chicken stock is starting to thicken in there, I've got a quart of milk here, which I brought up to almost room temp. What I'm going to do is just loosen the top. Actually, I'm just going to take it off so we have no explosion issues. And I'm just going to pop the whole thing in the microwave for about a minute, just to warm it up. It's going to make the whole process go a lot quicker. Alright, well, the milk's been in the microwave for about a minute or so. It feels a little warm. That's good. This is just going to go right in with the chicken broth and the roux. Mix it all up. Now this just has to sit and, stir it fairly frequently till it comes up to just about a boil. Then the flour will do its thing and it'll become nice and thick, and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, this broth here has been cooking a few minutes. It's starting to tighten up a little bit. It still has a little bit to go yet, but now we're going to start adding the magic of all the flavors. This, you cannot replace. This is Admiration blue cheese dressing. You can use others, I guess, but it's just not the same without Admiration brand. This stuff is so fucking good. So I got 16 ounces of it or so here. And then you use some of your, wherever the fuck I put it. Oh, here it is. Your favorite hot sauce. This isn't my favorite hot sauce, it's just what I had. It's a Chipotle Tabasco. It's really good. And what I do is I just slowly add a little bit at a time and taste it just to get to your preferred heat level. Now, I'm going to keep letting this heat up and thicken and taste it until I get to my desired heat level, and we'll come back and finish it. Alright, well, we've tasted for seasoning and spice. It tastes pretty fucking good. It's thickening up pretty nicely here. What I like to do just to up the ante, because I love blue cheese, is I throw in a bunch of nice fresh blue cheese crumbles to melt in. About 4 ounces here. Well, it's exactly 4 ounces. It's a whole tub of it. And we're just going to let that melt in, almost as though it were a cheese sauce. And once that's all done, and this all comes up to temp, we're just going to return the chicken and the celery that we had sauteed earlier to it, and we're finished. Alright, well, the soup's pretty much done. All we got to do is return the chicken and celery to it, which I had put in the crock that I'm going to serve it in, just so we don't dirty everything. And we're just going to plop all this right in. Oh, I got the burning splashies. And we're just going to let this cook for 3 to 5 minutes, just so all the flavors can hang out, and then back into the crock pot for service. It's going to be fucking good. Alright, back with Super Bowl prep in a while. Alright, the buffalo chicken chowder's done. Every year I have a tradition. I usually make a taco bar. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the tacos here with the filming. Everybody should know how to do that. You know, brown up the meat, follow little package instructions, blah, blah, blah. But for this time, I'm going to do tacos 3 ways. I'm going to do beef, deer, chicken, plop, plop and sizzle,
Sizzle plop.
beef, deer. Alright, the other tradition I have for Super Bowl, which everybody always looks forward to, is some nice smoked ribs. Unfortunately, couldn't show you the whole thing, but you can reference our grill episode where I did some baby back ribs. I did them basically the same way. Make my rub, put them out in the smoker for a few hours. These, a little bit different. I didn't really care about the temperature in the smoker. I was just trying to get the flavor of the smoke. So they're only partially done. So they're all wrapped up in foil here. I'm going to pop them in a 300-degree oven for about 2 hours or so to tender them up, and then we'll finish them up later. We'll portion them, sauce them, broil them off a little bit. They'll be great. Into the oven. Boom. Alright, well, we got the ribs out of the oven here. They look fucking good. They smell great. Wish you guys could smell them. But all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them into portions, maybe 2-3 bone segments. Put them out on the sheet pan, brush them with some barbecue sauce, and then we're going to finish them in the broiler in a little while.
Alright, that's enough.
Alright, ribs are all cut up. We're going to brush these down with a little bit of sauce, got in the barbecue sauce, my trusty gravy brush.
Gravy brush.
And we're just going to glaze these up real nice. Not too much, we just want a little coating.
Fucking gravy brush.